Hello everyone! So today I thought that I would rank the entire Beatles discography. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I am a huge Beatles fan, and I thought that today would be the perfect day to do so. Before I get into it, I do have a couple of disclaimers I want to say. If you want to skip right over those and get to the video, I'll have a timestamp down below in the description for you to do so. I'm also going to timestamp where I put each album, so if you want to skip around, you can do that as well. And now on to my disclaimers. First of all, I just wanted to show you guys the shirt I'm wearing. It's like all the Beatles singles covers, and I just thought that it's a perfect shirt to wear for the video. First of all, this is just going to be my opinion. I'm sure that you guys will probably disagree with me on some of them, and that is completely fine. I'd like to have a discussion about that in the comments. Tell me your favorite albums down below in the description and have you ranking. I'd love to hear that. Secondly, I'm just going to be reading off my phone, so if you see me looking over, that's why. Also, this is just going to be the Beatles studio album, so the anthology albums and also past masters are not going to be on this video. And lastly, I'm not going to be able to talk about every song that I really love and songs that I don't like and the reasons why, just because it's going to take me forever. So yeah, and let's get into the video. So at number 13, I'm going to have Yellow Submarine. I feel like this one is pretty self-explanatory since it doesn't have all Beatles songs, only like half of it is, and then the rest is George Martin compositions. But yeah, that's why it's going to be here. I think that this album is just okay. My favorites on here are going to be All You Need Is Love, Only Northern Song, and Hey Bulldog. And now we're on to number 12 on the list, which is going to be Beatles for Sale. I think that this album is just a letdown, honestly, because it came out after A Hard Day's Night, which was a brilliant album, and there are absolutely no covers on there. And I think that there's just too many covers on here, in my opinion, and it's middle of the road for me. I definitely enjoyed this album when I was listening to it more recently, so that is good. I don't really come back to this album a whole lot, but when I do, I'm usually listening to these songs. I'll Follow the Sun, 8 Days a Week, and What You're Doing. Songs that I also really like, Kansas City, Hey Hey Hey, and I also really have been enjoying Words of Love recently, and of course, No Reply. And now we're going to be on to number 11, which is going to be Please Please Me. This album has grown on me a lot. I think that there's just a certain charm about it. I think that this is a great album to start their career off with. My favorites on here are going to be I Saw Her Standing There, Twist and Shout, and Boys. Now on to number 10, which is going to be With the Beatles. I think that this was a nice improvement from Please Please Me. The only song I don't like on here is going to be Little Child. Hold Me Tight is special to me. Devil in Her Heart is a gem. I also really do enjoy Not a Second Time. Great vocals on there. And now on to my favorites, which are going to be Tell Her Was You. Paul's voice is incredible, very dreamy, and I really do love George's guitar solo. I think that that's probably one of my favorite parts of an already amazing song. Next is going to be Money, That's What I Want. And lastly, it's going to be All My Lovin'. Now on to number 9, which is going to be Help. I think that this album is good, but not great. I really do like the folk sound that they have going on with the album, though. I don't really like Tell Me What You See, You Like Me Too Much, Dizzy Miss Lizzy, and Act Naturally. Speaking of that, why was Dizzy Miss Lizzy the ending track? Because Yesterday would have been brilliant as a closer, and I stand with that. Now onto my favorites, which are going to be I've Just Seen a Face, Help, and It's Only Love. Honorable mentions are going to You Got to Hide Your Love Away, and also Another Girl. Now into number 8, which is going to be A Hard Day's Night. This is the first album full of Beatles originals, and I think John particularly really shines in this one. Songs that I'm not particularly a fan of on this one are going to be When I Get Home. I think that it's underwhelming. Also, I'll Cry Instead is just meh. And my favorites on this album are going to be If I Fell. This track is so underrated, it hurts. I never see people giving the praise to the song that it deserves for the most part, and I think it's brilliant. One of the best songs that John ever wrote. The harmonies between him and Paul are simply stunning. Next song that I really do enjoy is going to be And I Love Her. Great. I really do enjoy George's guitar work on this song. And lastly, it's going to be Tell Me Why. I think John just gives a great vocal performance here. I can't really ask for much more from him. Number 7 is going to be Magical Mystery Tour. I think this album is just pure fun, to put it simply. Blue Jay Way sounds very eerie, and I think it's a fantastic composition by George. Full in the Hill is another great track worth mentioning, as is I Am the Walrus. Great work by John. Just a witty, fun song. And now onto my favorites, which are going to be Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields Forever, and Hello Goodbye. It was really hard for me to choose the top 3 on this one, as it is all of them. They're just kind of how I'm feeling right now, and I'm sure my opinions are bound to change. Now we're on to number 6, and I know people are really going to disagree with me on this one, but it is going to be Revolver. And the reason I have it here is I just feel like this album is overrated. Do I feel like this album is great? Absolutely. But there's some songs I just don't really like as much as I do others. Like Yellow Submarine, I Want to Tell You, and Dr. Robert, I just never really got the hype of those songs particularly. And I really do enjoy how the album is very experimental though. And some tracks worth mentioning that didn't make it to my favorites are going to be Eleanor Rigby. I think that the song is just a masterpiece. Also Taxman, great composition by George. Really love what the entire song is about. And I also do enjoy Paul's guitar solo in here as well. I think it was a nice touch to the song. And now we're on to my favorites, which are going to be Got to Get You Into My Life, Here, There, and Everywhere, and Tomorrow Never Knows. Number 5, I know people will probably really disagree with me on this one as well, but it's going to be Let It Be. I think that this album is underrated. The more I have been listening to it, the more that I've been enjoying it and kind of having an appreciation for it. I personally enjoy the naked version a lot more. I think the track listing is superior on there. The songs sound better because of the production on there, and it's just a better album overall, so that's why I prefer it. But I think that the regular version is still good. So my favorites on here are going to be I've Got a Feeling, Justice for the Song. Paul's vocals are incredible, just amazing. Give that song some respect, please. Also, Two of Us, fun, great. Lastly is going to be Across the Universe. And now we are on to number 4, which is going to be The White Album. So I think what's really great about this is that it's very versatile. There's a song for everybody. They dabble with a lot of different styles here, and it's just a blast to listen to. Songs that I really enjoy are going to be Piggies and Savoy Truffle. Whenever I just want to enjoy myself, I throw those on. I don't really get the Obla-Di Obla-Da hate. I think that the song is fun. I don't understand what the hatred is for it. People really intensely hate this song, and I was surprised to see that. Songs I don't particularly like: Don't Pass Me By, Revolution 9, Why Don't We Do It in the Road, The Continuing Story of Bungalow Bill. And now I'm going to do a top 5 for this one just because there's so many songs, and now we're going to get into it. I really enjoy Blackbird, Helter Skelter, Julia, also probably Sexy Sadie is going to be on there, and lastly, Mother Nature's Son. Now we're on to number 3, which is going to be River Soul. So I think this album is just gorgeous. I really love this album. I have a connection with it that I can't really describe. Every time I listen to it, it just takes me to a certain place that I couldn't really put into words. No Man is an amazing song. Drive My Car is nice and a great start to the album. I don't really like What Goes On and Run for Your Life. I know John said that he didn't like Run for Your Life as well, and I just think that the album would have fared better without it, if I'm being honest. And now on to my favorites, which are going to be Michelle, If I Needed Someone, and In My Life. And now we're on to top 2. So at number 2, I'm going to have Abbey Road. I absolutely adore this album. I think that it was a very, very strong album, of course. And yeah, I used to not like Come Together, but it has grown on me a lot. Maxwell Silverhammer is by far not the best song on the album, but it's fun and I like to listen to it. I'm glad that they put the medley on it. I think that it just brings something special to the album, and I think it elevates it. And now I'm going to go into my favorites. It was really hard for me to choose because, again, so many great songs on here. So, number 1, Oh Darling. This is one of the first Beatles songs that I actually remember hearing, fell in love with it, and I think Paul's vocals are just insanely good. He did what he needed to do with this song. Next is going to be Something. Very beautiful song, nice guitar work by George, love it. And lastly is going to be Because, love the harmonies. John did a great job with this one. And now we are on to my number 1 pick, which is going to be Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So I think that this album was incredibly influential, and I just enjoyed the most. Also, can we talk about a fantastic album cover? The Beatles have a lot of great album covers. This one, Abbey Road, Revolver, and a bunch of other great ones, but I think this is probably like my favorite album cover. It's just so well known, so amazing, and absolutely adore it. So I really enjoy Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. I think it was kind of cool how that song came about. John saw a poster and he wrote a song. I think it's fun and it gives me very circus. I really enjoy Paul's Granny songs. I know a lot of people don't like them, but they just make me happy inside. And also Ringo does a superb job on With Little Help from My Friends. One of my favorite songs that Ringo's done with the Beatles by far. And now let's go into my favorites, which are going to be A Day in the Life, Within You Without You, and Lovely Rita. So that's just going to be it for the video today. Again, this is just my opinion right now. It might change in the future, and particularly what I wanted to say with is 6 and 5, they are definitely flippable. I was just kind of doing it on what I thought at the moment. I know people are definitely not going to agree with me on that, but it's fine. This is just my video. I love to hear your takes down below on what you think about the albums, and yeah. If you want to see more Beatles content from me, I actually have done some trumpet covers of the Beatles songs, so I will have a link down below in the description for you guys to check that out. I also did do a vlog where I was able to go see Paul McCartney live last year, and that was a lot of fun, so if you guys also want to check that out, also be linked down below in the description. I love the Beatles so much. I want to make a video about my favorite artists. I want to talk about them and how much they have definitely influenced me in my life, and the only artist I can find to compare with them is going to be Taylor Swift. I actually did make a video ranking her discography, so if you like her and you want to check that out, also be linked down below. And you guys can like the video if you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate that. You can also hit the red subscribe button right down below. If you hit the bell next out, you get a notification to your phone every time I post. If you have the first link down in the description, you can check out my second channel, and I just made a video about the 2020 presidential election and my thoughts on that. You guys can also check out my last video where I talked about my November favorites as well. And if you would like to see more of me, I do have a Twitter and Instagram, which are also going to be linked if you would like to follow me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.